Oh, we are live. This is it. So, November 16th, 2019. Hi, everyone. So, I'm France Van Stone, and thank you for coming here today. We are going to now draw with pens. As you know, this is the month of November, and we are sponsored by Faber-Castell. So, please tell me where you are from today. Join in, and I'm gonna try to have the live open in front of me too. Yeah, there you go. And I would like to see where you guys are from. So Alberto from Spain. Oh my goodness! So it must be 6 p.m. In Spain, right? Ray Mayo from, oh, I would like to say Chilhowie, Virginia. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing this right, but hi. Laurel from Oregon, Elijah from Philly, hi. Hi, Anne from San Francisco. Whoa, Redwoods, north of San Francisco, amazing. Hi, Carrie from Oakland, California. Betty from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, great. Hi, Canada. Hi, Marcel from Les Pays-Bas, that's right. Thanks for being here, Evelyn from Vancouver, Kentucky. Hi from New Jersey, Washington State. Robin, you're in the Netherlands. I had no idea. Sharon in Southern California. Gunhild from Norway. I know Gunhild, I'm not saying your name right, but you're gonna have to correct me at some point. Hi, Jessica from Delaware. Isabelle from France. Salut, Isabelle. Anybody who's French speaking, let me know. It's always fun to say a few words, right? Deb, Ozarks. Okay, wow, that's. I can't believe how just how diverse the population is. Oregon also. This is great. So I have a lot of things to cover with you today, and I'm gonna start right away. First of all, let me show you some of the things that we have here. Okay, take a look. So first, these pens. Let's talk about these pens, shall we? Okay, so Faber-Castell, look at this. I have 4 different pens. They come in a set. Okay. Oh, okay, Gunhild, thank you. Oh, Marion from Germany. Carole, hold on, let me try not to miss anybody because otherwise. Amouda from Tunisia. This is amazing. Dick from the Netherlands also. Cool. Um, Marion, okay. Alberta, Canada, Tammy, hi. So I think we've got Alberta represented, Saskatchewan represented. Chris, if you're here, can you represent New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, depending on which side of the border you are? Cassandra from Wyoming, Texas, Merrill. Wow, cool. This is very cool. So I changed the photo here so you could actually see. Let me see if you can see. All right, this is what I want to do. I want it to swap between. Okay, here we go. So you can still see me, but now you can see the supplies I'm going to be drawing with today. Okay. I love Pitt pens. I've been drawing with Pitt pens for the past, I don't know, 13 years now. Yay, Chris! Hi, you're here from New Brunswick, Canada. My gosh, we have 3 provinces in Canada represented. South Carolina, I want to say Milika, but I hope I'm saying your name right, Milika Virag. So take a look at what I've got here. I've got some Faber-Castell pens, and this is what we're going to use today. I'm going to try them all out for you to see, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to juggle between all 4, because my idea is that I am going to juggle between 2. Ooh, I have Betty, originally from Nova Scotia. But Betty, where do you live now? I have Cathy from Berlin. This is great, from Berlin. And Sue from South Africa. I am overwhelmed by the diversity of the population here. And you know, I'm here in the United States, but I was born and raised in France. So, Dollar, you are from DC. This is great. Okay, so let me talk about these pens a little bit. Faber-Castell makes amazing pens, not just because of the quality of their nibs, but also because they are, this is really important, archival, waterproof, odorless India ink. The important thing here is that it's archival and waterproof, because I personally don't really mind a little bit of ink smell. Hi from Seattle. Hi, Danielle. Great. Virginia from Waterville, New York. And Michelle from the Jersey Shore. Hi, Michelle. Cool. All right. So I love the archival ink. Why is this? Because when you have archival waterproof ink, you can use this and then add watercolor or any kind of wash that you want to do on top of it. And I think that's really a beautiful thing. Not only that, they keep really well with time. You know, if you have sketchbooks that have been lying around for over a decade, you're not going to have an issue with ink becoming a little goofy. So hi, I'm back here and I'm holding 4 Faber-Castell pens, and I'm going to put them in the order in which they actually come in when you buy them, because that's kind of how they are in width. So we've got an extra small width. This is going to be super thin. I'm going to show it to you in a minute on the camera. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hi, Foggy365. Andrew, I wanted to use your photo, and I'm gonna, but it might have to be in next week's broadcast. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. Okay. So Andrew, I'm so glad you're here. And I have Anne Nicolai from New Jersey too. Oh my gosh, I think we, like 4 of us are from New Jersey. There's also a small, which is a little bigger, but it's still a very thin nib. Then there's the medium. This is my favorite. The medium has, yeah, it says medium, but really it's still pretty thin, at least in my standards. And then the bold. It says B here for bold. The bold is great because it's actually a brush. You know, when you start drawing with it, it kind of behaves like a brush. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this today. Patrick Cunningham from Oregon. Oh my gosh, this is great. Boom. I'm going to introduce to you to the sketchbook I'm using a little bit, because obviously this is important, but really how the pens behave in the sketchbook is what really matters to us today. All right, before I start doing that, do you know that you can get your hands on these supplies if you are anywhere in the United States, and you can use the code SKETCHY to get 20% off any of these Faber-Castell pens or pencils. If you want the link to all this, look underneath the video. Here, underneath, you have some links for the Faber-Castell website, and then how to use that 20% off discount code, which is sketchy. But also, just as last week, if you are in a Drawing with France drawing group on Sketchy Art School, and if you haven't join, this is free. If you are in it, you have a chance to be drawn to be one of the 10 people to get these pens as a giveaway. So it's a pretty cool value that you've got here. Okay. And yes, I absolutely love these pens. So why don't we talk about how they behave on paper? I'm going to talk to you about my muse in a minute. First, let's talk about the pens. So as I open my sketchbook, I'm going to actually, this is a little sketchbook I got at Muji. It's a little Japanese store not far from here. I absolutely love their products. My daughter and I just rave about their paper and also their everything. They sell shoes, they sell clothes, they sell suitcases, bags. We absolutely love Muji. So as I open this, I like this little sketchbook because it closes with a little ribbon. I'm going to show you how these pens behave, right? So starting with the extra small. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer you to the actual view where you see what I'm doing. That's a lot better, right? Because seeing my face is not going to really help you understand much about how these pens behave. Take a look at how thin. Let me try to get this into focus. Maybe here. Close. Okay. Oh, camera, please focus. This is a very small nib. Let me give you a comparison between the extra small, and the medium. Oh, no, that's the bold, I'm sorry. Medium is here. The medium, you see the difference in nibs? The medium is my absolute favorite. I find that to be the most versatile because you can actually depending on how you hold it, I'm going to show you today, you can make very thin lines as well. But look at how tiny this is. You can really go into insane cross-hatching detail by using this kind of nib. So that's extra small. And when you use the extra small on paper, it goes like this. Look at that. I mean, that's really thin, right? And then if you use the small, so S is for small. The one I just used is extra small. And small is a little bigger, okay? You can see, but not by much. But suddenly look at how much dark and the thickness I'm achieving just by, you know, pressing with the same amount of pressure, you know? Okay. Andrew, it's my absolute pleasure if I can use your face in the near future. Okay, and this is the medium. Medium, try to hold this. Okay, here we go. Medium is a little shy at first, but boy. Okay, you see the difference between these three nibs? Very thin, thin, and then medium. I love medium because even with the medium, you can play around with the width, or you can go much heavier and kind of give it a little bit of pressure, and now you've got a really nice thicker line. And then there's the bold. So bold, and also something I want to tell you that I want to point out. Pit pens by Faber-Castell have a way of looking a certain way when they're still wet and then getting a little grayer as they dry. So your first stroke that you're going to make is going to look very dark black, but on a paper like this, because it's got a little bit of a tooth and it does absorb a tiny bit. I'll be honest with you, it's thin, but it does absorb a bit. It's going to become a little more gray. So you go from black to dark gray as it dries. Okay. Hi, Deb Demarteau. I'm glad you're here. Now look, I'm using the bold. The bold is amazing because you can go super, super thin, barely touching the paper, but still, obviously, it's bold, right? So next to the medium, it's going to look a little bolder. So right now, I'm barely touching. But as I apply a little more pressure, take a look at what happens. Then I'm really getting a nice, thick stroke out of this. Did you notice? Look at that. I love these brush pens. And now, as I hold it a little more horizontally, I can get even a broader stroke. Look at that. And this is going to come in handy as I try to draw around the face of my muse today for a dark background. This is really cool. So you can still go pretty light, and then you can really add, I mean, an amazing amount of thickness, depending on what you want to get out of this brush pen. I love this bold, brushy pen. It is black, but as it dries, and I really don't know if you can tell, I'm going to bring this a little closer, you see that we are more in the dark gray area. And what happens is if you come back for another layer of it, you are going to end up with even a darker black. So that's what we're using today. I have to tell you though, because of the subject, I am going to limit myself. As you know, limiting yourself is not wrong, especially when it comes to supplies. I'm going to limit myself to these two. I'm going to use the medium and I'm going to use the bold. And I'm going to leave the extra small and the small, which are these two, for maybe later fun. Rick, you're here. Hi. I'm so glad that you stopped by. And maybe it's time for me to talk about the muse and open a page just for today. Are you ready? So going back to the front of my sketchbook. It's not very big. Did you notice? It's a nice little size. I am going to open it to, what is it, like the second page? Yeah, second page. Not super clean because it got contaminated a little bit by previous drawings, but that's okay. Well, thank you, Tammy, on the nails. I've never gotten my nails done. I only do it myself. So it's cheap and it tends to go away as I wash dishes. But you know what? I had to do a little bit of touch up this morning so that my nails would look okay. Here, by the way, just so you know, the nail polish I use, Sally Hansen. Absolutely love this brand. It dries so fast. If you want to get your hands on this is about $7 at any supermarket, by the way. And this is called Swim Upstream. Okay, so using bold and medium, I'm going to be tempted to hold this vertically. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold this vertically today. I think everything will fit on the page unless... No, I think this is a good idea to go vertical. I make last minute decisions, what can I say? Are you ready for the muse? This is my big decision today. I am going to use the same reference photo as I did last week. Those of you who were with me last week on the 9th, you remember that we used pencils by Faber-Castell. Today, we are going to do the same drawing with different tools. That's the whole idea, is that how do we approach a drawing differently when we use pencils versus pens? So here's my muse. You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rick. Rick Nice is going to be my inspiration, as it so often is. And in the space of about an hour starting from now, right? Yeah, that's about right. I am going to make the best attempt to draw Rick, but of course it's going to be different than last week because last week I had the comfort of pencil and I had the luxury of erasing and so forth. Hey, Nora, why don't you grab a piece of paper and draw along too? Would you like to?
No, more cartoon.
Okay, but if you'd like, you can draw while I draw. I'm talking to my daughter, who's 10 years old and who draws all the time. What a surprise. Nora is really good at drawing cartoons. You can say hi in front of the video for, like, very quickly. Hi, hi. You know what? Let's show our face for a second, okay? So, Nora, do you like Faber-Castell stuff?
Yeah.
You do, right? We love those pens. Okay, so if you want, you can join us and maybe use, why don't you use this thing that I love using all the time? It's a clipboard. And on that clipboard, you can have a seat here and draw too.
Okay.
And if you want, you can use those two Faber-Castell that I'm not going to use today.
Okay.
And then at the end, maybe we'll share what you drew too.
Mm.
Okay? So do you want to have a seat over here or maybe on the chair behind there?
What paper should I use?
That's a good question. Why don't you use the paper that you love using all the time? This one. Because this glides really well. Here, I gave you 2 pieces.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think we are drawing in family here. Okay. So I guess we're all drawing. I didn't know that Nora would draw along, but I guess she is. So this is great. Yeah, Petite France. A lot of people say that she's a mini version of me. I think it's accurate, you know. So, are you guys ready? I'm inviting everybody today to draw along with me. Okay, cool. Irina, I can totally relate to this. Your daughter is 12 and she likes drawing anime. Nora loves drawing these kinds of things too. She loves drawing cartoony things, as I did when I was her age. Later on in life, I started drawing more realistically, and from from photos, but also from life as well. So yeah, I'm glad you guys got to see Nora, who absolutely loves a good pen. So we're very much on the same page there. Okay, if you draw along with me, let me know, and also share in the Drawing with France group on Sketchy Art School, because you know that 10 of you tomorrow are going to be picked to get some of these pens for free. Like, this is a giveaway by Faber-Castell, so this is very cool. Oh, by the way, Jessica, there is a link to the muse underneath the video, if I'm not mistaken. So take a look underneath. There's a link to my drawing group. There's a link to my classes on Sketchy. And there is a link to, as well, the Faber-Castell website, so that you can access this and get a chance to get 20% off any of these pens, and I believe pencils as well. And by entering the code Sketchy, you get 20% off. Are you ready to start, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, good. Jessica, yeah, the link is there, right? I'm not mistaken. Okay, very cool. So, practicing will help. Art Pearls, you're asking me a very good question. Can you give me an idea how you can get to draw beautiful hatch lines? Practicing not only helps, it's everything. You know, I teach this class here at Sketchy called cross-hatching, and this is really a good starting point if you want to become really comfortable with cross-hatching. I think I'm going to cross-hatch a bit today. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach this, to tell you the truth. I'm looking forward to seeing the interaction between the pen and the paper, and that kind of determines how I do things. And yes, Rick, I would not miss it for the world. You are such an inspiration to us. Just like Foggy is going to be very soon as well, Andrew Fawcett. You guys have given us some amazing expressions. So I can't wait to draw Andrew as well. So are you ready? I'm going to start with, not bold actually, I'm going to start with the medium. Let's uncap this baby and let's get started. So you guys draw along, okay? The fun part is then afterwards to share on Sketchy Art School, don't you think? All right, so let me try to get comfortable here with I'm actually drawing on a shelf. I don't know if you know this. I have a big shelf on wheels that I wheel right by my gigantic window so that I can get some natural light. I'm not at all using any kind of light today. I have Rick right here on my little tablet, which is an Android tablet that I use solely for this purpose. And I have it right in next to me. You can kind of see it here. And Rick, we're about to get started. Now, what we can do is, first of all, sort of make a rough line here at the top and maybe a line, let me see, maybe here at the bottom, to kind of determine that that's going to be where my drawing, maybe the chin is. All right, guys, it's going to be loose, because when you draw in pen, you really can't be that fussy. You can be fussy in the details afterwards, but really, I'm just going to be very loose. What do I call loose? Loose, okay. Loose is when I have this sort of blind contourish approach of a drawing, which is rarely lifting my pen off of the paper, kind of keeping things flowing and making sure that I just stay super loose. You see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of doing what I would do with a pencil, which is how I start a drawing, very loosely. Lifting only to go from one side to the other, but that's about it. And not being afraid of thick lines at the edges here, because there's facial hair, there's beard, but really not being too concerned with exact lines. You see, I have many lines. Look, it's messy. You see, it's not perfect. Okay? And again, let's get away from trying to do perfect things because there is nothing more paralyzing than trying to achieve perfection, right? And we're not just talking of drawing here, we're talking about a lot of things in life, correct? So I want to try to get away from perfection. I want to relax. I want to uh, just and look, Jessica, you have a very good point. You say, and again, I'm going to quote you here. I always sketch in pencil first, so this is scary. Yes, it is scary. Trust me, it is always a little bit scary for me too, because as I do this, I know it can go in all kinds of directions, and by directions I mean the wrong kind. So yeah, we're gonna just have to go along with it and hope for the best. Just don't lose track of your proportions. Meaning, for instance, see the bottom of Rick's ears there, the earlobes seem to correspond to where the nose ends, like where the nostrils are going to be. So, frankly, that's kind of how I go. Okay. And for me, it's funny, Art Pearls, you say it is the scary part, not being perfect. It can be discouraging. For me, it is the opposite. Not being perfect is the most encouraging thing. This is for me the best piece of advice I've ever gotten. If you want to really become good at something, make a bunch of maybe almost deliberately bad ones, at least not perfect things, and then you will see how encouraged you will be to draw more. Because achieving perfection is just futile, if you ask me. It's just not a good quest. Okay, I'm gonna place an eye wherever I can. Are you guys ready? There's one, okay, and there's the other. Okay, again, really not trying to achieve something too perfect. Eyeball here, eyeball there. There we go. Rick, you are almost alive now on this piece of paper, in this sketchbook with this toothy paper. I've got my daughter drawing a few feet away from me. Nora, are you going a little cartoony today?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. Okay, doing the reflection here and then adding pupils. Okay, see? Oh, is it Rick? I hope so, right? Yeah. So, Andrew, you're saying this too, and I think a lot of us can relate. Trying to do everything perfectly, perfectly. That's one of my biggest problems when drawing. I know. Getting away from that, that quest for perfection is one of the hardest lessons to learn. I mean, really, it is. But if you're okay with it, just let go. Accept that this might be a complete catastrophe. Be okay with that. Did you notice that I am not cross-hatching yet, and I'm not even sure that that's the direction in which it's going to go? Um, because I could actually be approaching this drawing with maybe more like a squiggly approach. But let me leave this medium Faber-Castell pit to then grab the bold. You will see why. Okay. The reason is I am going to want to determine the background now, so that's what I'm going to do. Keep in mind, guys, that these could be yours for free tomorrow if you're part of the Drawing with Friends group on Sketchy Art School. 10 of you are going to be picked to get these amazing pens. I keep saying pencils. I mean pens. And look at what I'm going to do now. Very broad strokes. I know it's kind of scary to just go like so dark, but actually no, it's not. It's fun. making very straight lines around Rick's face to establish a background. And now look, you see how thick they are, right? I can go even thicker by holding this, a little more sideways. And just boom, covering a lot of ground. Just like that, okay? And again, not trying to be perfect, just trying to cover ground. These, the Pitt brush pens don't like to be kept just like any marker out there that's normal, uncapped for too long. So watch out when you use them, to cap them really well afterwards. I'm going to rotate Rick because it's more comfortable for me to make gestures that go from away from me to close to me. Am I making sense? This is kind of the same thing as when I crosshatch. I like crosshatching going this way, right? Marcel and Jessica, the beauty is that you both have a chance to win it. So you guys can both potentially have this in your hands very soon. It's only 4 pens, but boy, do they cover the gamut of widths that we need when we draw. I mean, that's all you need, frankly, in my opinion. You know that I'm a big fan of keeping my supplies fairly limited for a good reason, because I think we can get overwhelmed, and sometimes this is not the best invitation to creativity when you have too many options. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes, Anne. Oh, this is the word. This is the word I'm looking for. This pen is juicy. That is the exact term that I'm after. And when it's brand new like this, ooh, look at that. Look at the amount of ink that you can get out of here. It's so
wet.
good. It's wet. That's exactly what it is.
No, not wet. Wet.
Wet? Is that what it is, Nora? Wet?
Wet.
Wet. Oh, is that a Bob Ross thing?
Yes.
Ah, it is. Nora is telling me that the right way to pronounce wet for a pen like this is wet. It's very wet. We watch a lot of Bob Ross together. Right, Nora? We love him.
These pens are not white.
They're not white, they're wet. Indeed they are. Oh my gosh, we love Bob Ross because he is so inspiring in his approach of just kind of going along with what you think works. And you know what? Most of the time it does work. So look at the amount of darkness that we were able to achieve just now. Yeah, absolutely. So you've got a good point, Chris. First of all, Irina, I need to quote you. It's only a drawing, absolutely. This is not going in a museum tomorrow now, is it? Right? And even if it doesn't go right, it's still a learning experience. That's exactly what I approach every drawing as. It's a learning experience, okay? It's Nelson Mandela who said, I never lose because either I win or I learn. Isn't that right? Isn't that what it's all about? Because even if things don't go your way, you've learned something, and that's really what matters to me. So, Chris, you're saying the ink seems to dry or absorb into the paper very quickly. Absolutely. This paper here is thirsty. This is a thirsty kind of paper. You're not going to get this kind of result from a more, let's say, Bristol-like paper like this. Okay, this is one of my favorites by Blick. This does not absorb ink the way this does, so you're going to get different results, and that's fine, okay? That's fine. Okay, I'm going back to my medium, and then I'll get back to the bold when I want to work on this a little more, because we're going to have to use a lot of bold here. Right now, I want to get into some details. So these bold pit pens usually force me to hold my pen more like this than like that. Um, and again, I'm not here to win, I'm here to learn, right? Right, Jessica? We're here to really just enjoy and learn. Oh, look at me, I can't help cross-hatching. Okay, but I've got a lot of darkness here above Rick's eye, do you agree? And I want to cover that as much as I can. Ooh, you know what? I've got a bolder pen for that. So why don't I bring it in like this, wherever it's very dark. Okay, it's dark here too. And we have quite a bit of darkness to cover here. So did you notice I just quickly grabbed the bold again in order to cover this as quickly as possible. I like that. And yes, absolutely no smudging, right? When the paper absorbs a little bit. So Anne, you're saying that you're using the Canson paper? Very cool. Okay, I'm glad to know because I usually only use this Canson paper for pencil work. I never use it for pen for some reason, but I'm glad that you are. So Anne is using the Canson paper that we were using last week, which is a cream, right? Anne, are you using a cream background? I'm more of a between cream and white here. But you're saying that it works really well, so this is cool. And Jeanette, I want to hear more about this. You're saying that you're using these bold pens, but in the hues of blue. Wow, that must be very cool. I've seen those in the art store, and I have to say, I'm a little envious. I would like those in blue. I would love to do a drawing in another color. Oh, but wait, guess what? Next week something like this might happen because next week the live and Q&A is going to be with colored pencils. And I'm a little nervous because this is really, really not my comfort zone. So we're going to have fun with that. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, this bold is doing what it usually does, which is giving me a little bit of hesitation every time I bring it back to the paper. That's okay. Okay, so I have the option of cross-hatching. Yes, I do. But today I'm leaning towards maybe something a little different. Let's see if it's going to work. This is a bit of a messy approach, but my pen here is making little squiggly lines. Did you notice that I said that my pen was and not me? It's my way of laying the blame on the pen in case things don't go the way I want them to. Of course, I'm kidding because I am very much in charge of the pen, but at the same time, I don't want to keep a super tight control on my pen. I just kind of want to let the pen do what it does best. So here, instead of cross-hatching, I'm just going like very squiggly. Let me show you how squiggly that is. So instead of making straight lines, I'm going like this, you see? Just totally random. But as I'm going random, I am also going lighter. So imagine this is the dark part of it, this is the light. So going more intensely in the darker areas and then sort of lightening things up this way. You see what's happening? It's almost hair-like, okay? But it really works sometimes when you want to try something a little different. So, and yes, Andrew, I'll be honest with you, the temptation to cross-hatch is strong. But today, I'm going to do something different. It doesn't have to be the same all the time, right? So today, instead of cross-hatching, I am squigglying my way through all the values of this drawing, because why not? Okay, we'll see where that goes. Okay, we've got an interesting result. Maybe I can add a little bit of hatching inside, but ever so slightly, ever so slightly. I'm still in my bold, my medium pen here. And my little hatches are much shorter than what I would usually do here, because I want to keep that squiggly feel. I don't know, guys. I really don't know whether it's going to be something I like afterwards. Maybe. But at least I'm trying something that I'm not entirely confident is going to work super well. But we're doing this together, right? Okay. Squiggly lines can be for anything we want. I really, because I don't have formal training in art, right? You guys know this. I really, because I never learned the right way does not really inform and impact my decisions. So I'm just drawing, just doing my best. Squigglies in the eyes too, look at that. You see that? I'm just keeping things super light. Super light here too. Okay. It's an interesting approach. I don't know. I don't know exactly where we're going with this, but I'm going. Nora, how are the pit pens behaving for you? Do you love them?
They're nice. They're kind of like writing with Sharpies.
Oh, yeah. But you will never get those thin lines with Sharpie markers, right, Nora?
Oh no.
So my daughter is using the extra fine and the fine, which are called XS and S for extra small and small. And I am using the medium and the bold. The bold, which I used here a little bit
Guess
too.
what I'm making? Oh.
What are you making, Nora?
High heels.
Oh, really? You're drawing shoes? That's so cool. All right. You know, growing up, myself, um, my parents didn't put me in art school or anything like that, but drawing seemed to be a well-respected activity at my house, or my apartment rather, but meaning, you know, my parents never discouraged me from doing it. Sure, they didn't want me to go to art school, but it doesn't matter. I was still very much encouraged to draw, and I think that's really important. Okay, so what do you say? You want to get your hands on some of these pit pens? You know you have separate options for this. Tomorrow, 10 people out of the Drawing with France group are going to be selected to win these and get them for free, because that's the whole idea of winning something, right? And you also have the option of using the link underneath the video, where you can go to fabercastel.com and get any of these supplies for 20% off. And my goodness, yay! I cannot believe, Jan, you are here now. Jan, I'm so happy. Oh, this is very cool. We went to elementary school together in France. And Jan and I reconnected, I don't know, a few years back. And we're now in touch. It's so cool. So thank you for being here, Jan. Of course, your English is very good. I'm not surprised. Oh, this is so cool. So yeah, Elijah, do the squiggles work for you? Do they? Like, yeah? It's relaxing, isn't it? Okay. Again, the bold, the medium here sometimes makes me hold it a lot more vertical than I am used to. But I'm okay with that. Squiggles, guys. Squiggles. That's what I'm going with today. I really didn't know how I was going to do this today. Am I going to crosshatch? Do we really want to crosshatch every single time? Yeah, we can. But we can also show that we're just taking another road today and kind of trying out something new. I mean, new. Different. This is not exactly what I would call new for me. I've squiggled a lot in my life, and I really like it. I really like what it does. It really relaxes your hand because you sort of accept that those squiggles are taking you to a place that you're really not sure, but you're doing it. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Are you guys okay doing this? Now, I'm not saying that you guys have to approach this exactly the way I do. That wouldn't be right, in my opinion. But since I'm trying something to relax, I was hoping that you guys would also try to relax and do something that works for you. The inside of the eyes are never very, very white, right? Okay. It's funny, I find myself wiping this. Look, I find myself wiping this medium nib a little bit on the side there to sort of keep it going. It's very strange. I mean, not strange in a bad way. It's almost like a ballpoint pen, like you want to just make sure it's doing what you want. Ah, Rick, what a great reference photo you gave us again. This is so cool. Squiggles down the nose. Are you guys ready? Okay, we're gonna try to go down this nose um, with those squiggles. I don't know. I'm doing it. Are you doing it? Let's do it. Okay, here's a good question here. Greetings from the UK. Hello. When did you find yourself moving towards your usual cross-hatching style? I think I've always more or less done it, and of course I didn't know what I was doing. What you got, Nora?
They don't bleed.
No, they don't
How do they
bleed.
not bleed?
I know. How do they not bleed? I don't know, but that's how fab the technology of these pens is. Nora is saying that they don't bleed. It's true.
Help
So
me, they defeat the arts of science.
they defy science, don't they? Look at this. I am squiggling all the way down Rick's nose. There's also some darkness here. So yeah, to go back to your question from the UK, I've always sort of used this comfortable hatching thing, not knowing, of course, that it was even called something. I've always done it, and it's always worked for me because it's a little reassuring and definitely soothing, right? Elijah, you were just saying that this is soothing. I really think it is. So for me, it is kind of what it did to me all the time, like sort of give me a soothing option for shading. And I sort of went with that. And then one day someone told me, oh my gosh, great cross hatching. I'm like, what's that? I have no idea. I may sound like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. When you have zero training in art, you don't have the terms. You have, somewhat maybe a skill that you've developed, but you can't really put a name to that,
Mm.
and that's fine,
Well,
right, Nora? Yeah,
I finished, by the way.
yeah. You're not drawing anymore after this.
I'm just gonna balance this plastic up. Oops.
Can I ask you though, Nora? Can I
Yeah.
share your drawings at the end too?
Yeah.
Would that be okay? All right. Good. We're gonna do that.
I like sharing my stuff.
I like sharing my stuff too because sharing is
Caring.
yes. All right, Nora. Okay. Um, guys, how much time do we still have? Okay, I'm gonna be here for another 20 some minutes, so I'm going to juggle a little bit between this medium pen and also the bold pen a little bit one more time. So take a look. Closing the medium and now using the bold one, okay? Okay. Andrew, I really like your question, and I'm going to bring that one up because you're asking me, is there something, a particular person that inspired me to draw? Yes. High school, ninth grade, or 10th grade rather, I should say. I was about 14 years old. Drawing Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, guys. I was such a fan of the Rolling Stones that drawing them had become very important. And as I was trying to draw Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, struggling, of course, because not really knowing what I was doing, it really gave me an idea of, first of all, what tools to use. I was sometimes using pencil, sometimes using pen. I didn't think I was pretty good, but I think it came to me somewhat easily. So that's the thing that kept me going for a while, you know. So if it had not been for these guys, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, that I drew repeatedly when I was in high school and in college, I don't think I would have gotten into portrait drawing that much. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I would have kept on maybe drawing cartoony things, you know? So,
Well, cartoon is fun.
cartoony is fun, I agree. So, yeah, that's kind of how it happened for me. Blame it on the Rolling Stones. And now today, I really don't like drawing celebrities at all, like actors and singers. Not my thing. Because it kind of traps you into the whole, oh, it has to look exactly like him or her. And the moment you start a drawing like that, you know you're already setting yourself up for a lot of stress. So I like practicing with our favorite muses. You know, on Sketchy, we've got those, right? So again, using the bold to try to cover as much ground as possible. Andrew, I hope I answered your question. Deb, I agree with you. I think it really goes well with the gesture drawing approach. You know, whenever you want to be loose. There's quite a bit of Rick. Oh no, you know what? I think I'm leaving my bold, but no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it for a while because this beard needs to be addressed, doesn't it? I need to address it, not neglect it. I'm making some decisions as I go here. How do I try to convey the fact that Rick's beard is not exactly, you know, jet black, so we've got a little bit of grayish hair in there that I don't want to miss. So I'm not filling everything in, you know what I mean? I'm just leaving things out. What I find fascinating is that in pen and relaxing so much, I am actually going to cover more than I did last week when I did um, the same drawing in pencil, right? Carol, I need to share this. It was Mickey Dolenz and horses. Isn't Mickey Dolenz part of the Monkees? I think he was or is. Yes. Horses. I love drawing horses. I wish I could draw more animals. Oh, I love drawing animals. Absolutely love drawing animals. Guys, I wouldn't mind doing a whole sketchy class on just that. Animals. Our pets. Or not necessarily pets, but just animals. Oh, love them. Okay, Rick, what do you think, guys? Is it him? I think it is. But again, not trying to be super faithful, just trying to convey light and volume, you know? So here we go. A bit of squiggles here wherever I see dark areas. Keeping it super light though. I'm barely touching the paper right now. I wish I could show you how absolutely lightly I'm touching this piece of paper. This is super light. Okay, there's some wrinkles coming down this way. Love that. Okay, do we have a Rick so far? You think we do? I think we kind of do. I think we kind of do. It's kind of goofy, right? It's not something I'm used to. Uh, but yeah. Yes, Rick, I'm so glad you came back. So, Rick, can you please confirm, is this you? Like, do you see you, Rick? Because if you do, then I'm cake, like I'm gold. I'm gonna be very happy about what we've been doing here so far. Thank you, Rick, for coming back. I'm glad. And you're saying something, Andrew, about drawing Keith Richards and how challenging that would be. I think part of what and you know this about my drawings, I am more attracted to wrinkles, intricate features. You will rarely find me drawing a baby for that reason. Love the babies, but let's face it, their faces are free of wrinkles, free of anything that you can kind of hold on to. You know what I mean? Like, how do I draw a face that has absolutely nothing going on? And again, not their fault, but frankly, not the most fun to draw. I'm sorry. Sorry, babies. Just how it is, right? Keith Richards, on the other hand, his face looks a bit like an unmade bed, and that's the stuff I love drawing. Because for me, the fun is in trying to convey the volume, how the light plays with wrinkles, a little bit what's going on here, on Rick's face. Of course, I'm not going to start comparing Rick to Keith Richards in terms of wrinkles, but yeah. So, yes, Rick? Do I have a Rick? Thank you. And, I am with you here. I think I like this one better than the pencil one for some reason. Yeah. And Michelle, you used to draw the Beatles and Billy Joel. Oh my gosh, Billy Joel. When you were in high school. See, that's wild, right? The stuff that kind of takes us there. I tried to draw David Gilmour recently. Didn't go great. I mean, I drew him and stuff, but yeah, it didn't go well. You're right, it's an adverb. Didn't go greatly. Is that appropriate?
No,
I'm kidding. Okay.
English.
Yes, English. Um, Oh, yes, Jen Hope. Do you have the pencil drawing of Rick from last week that you could show side to side? Absolutely. So, what I'm going to do is get it ready. I have it right here. I'm going to put it next to it, and at the end, we're going to put them side by side. Excellent idea. Okay? Absolutely. Amuda, you have such a good question coming up. Does drawing live add to the stress? I get stressed when I record myself drawing. Of course it does. It really does. But, I'm a teacher. I'm kind of used to being on the spot, in the spotlight. Theater also taught me to deal with things that go wrong right on the spot. And frankly, maybe these two things have something to do with the fact that this kind of stress is not debilitating, it's not entirely paralyzing. So, yeah, I think Amuda, I do have a fair amount of stress, but it's manageable. I think that's what I need to say. Okay, Marcel, I think I'm with you. I like this one better than the pencil one. Well, the pencil one never got quite, past the one half of the face, and that was also maybe part of the fact that it was hard to get an appreciation for it. Perhaps, I don't know. Okay. And you drew album covers. I did that too. I love drawing album covers. Dire Straits. Oh my gosh, did I draw Dire Straits album covers? Love those. Okay, Rick, we are going to go into the beard even more. So, da 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 da. Okay, Doler, have a great tour at the museum. I'm so glad that you came. Thank you for being here. And thank you for letting us know that even that you have to go. That's cool. Thank you. Okay, I just grabbed the bold again, guys. And it is now 1 o'clock. I'm going to be here with you for another 10-15 minutes. And I think we're going to be able to maybe... Okay, let me speed things up a little bit in the beard. Do you hear that sound? Oh, I love that sound. Squiggling away, guys. We're doing this. So let me know. I know some of you are drawing, right? You're drawing as I'm drawing, and I think this is the best thing that we've been doing with these live drawings is the fact that you draw along, then we share our drawings, talk about them. What I want to know is actually how many of you have also decided to go squiggles today? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comment section. Can you please let me know if you have adopted this absolute lunacy that we're doing here? This thing that must go against so many art standards, I don't know. Maybe we are breaking some artistic conventions. Maybe someone will say, but squiggles are not meant to be used for this. Well, yeah. It's the beauty of not being trained is that you have no idea what's right and really what's wrong, what's protocol, what's not protocol. I'm certainly not bound by these things. Okay? Chris, you're listening to this in your AirPods? Oh, that's so cool. All right. So, Jessica, you're doing the squiggles. Yes? Yes. Okay. Carol, are you also doing the squiggles? I'm interpreting your thumb up as a yes. Cool.
Mom, it
Yeah.
looks like you did it in a calligraphy pen.
Yeah, because actually this brush pen, you can kind of use that for calligraphy because calligraphy, as you press, you're going to get a wider stroke. So that's kind of the idea of this brush pen, absolutely. You can definitely use that for calligraphy. After we're done here today, you should try it. You should use it and make some, some writing and some letters with it.
Have you ever drawn in calligraphy pen?
Yeah, I think, the one that I gave you, that fountain pen that I had,
Yeah.
that was calligraphy. Yeah, I used to draw with that a lot.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love having a contrast of broad and thin line. Absolutely.
I do too.
Yeah, I dig that.
Pit
pens.
Pit pens are awesome for that.
Yes, they really are, aren't they? Okay, guys, what do you say? So let me see. Elijah, you are squiggling it up. Very good. Oh, I love hearing that. So remember, guys, you can get these, right, on the website, on the fabercastel.com, right, website. If you enter sketchy as a code, you get 20% off these pens, and I believe also pencils, like the ones we were using last week. You also have the option, if you are in my drawing group, Drawing with Friends on Sketchy Art School, you have the option of possibly, if you're going to be one of the 10 people chosen, and you get a better chance of being chosen apparently if you've drawn today and you put up your picture on Sketchy Art School, you will get these for free. So it's a giveaway by Faber-Castell, who is our sponsor this whole month.
Also, these two.
And yes, of course, the whole, the whole assortment
shebang.
of them, the whole shebang. So Marion, you've been squiggling as well. Very good. Rick, you bet I'm gonna send you a copy. Absolutely. Yep. I'm gonna take a nice photo of this, and I'm gonna take a photo. I'm gonna also post it, and I'm gonna send you a copy, Rick. Absolutely. Rick, you know what I'm gonna do too? I'm gonna send you the original by mail. Why don't we do that? Right? Shouldn't we do that? Because Rick, I think I sent you one once which was charcoal, but I don't think you have in your possession a portrait that I made of you using a pen, right? So I think this comes to you in the mail in the foreseeable future. Okay, squiggling away, very good, excellent. Jeannette, they are liberating, aren't they? I think so. Betty, I think that approach is great too. Part squiggles, part hatching. Hatching offers also a lot of, a lot of flexibility. You notice that I did hatch a little bit in some areas. And Deb, you are also squiggling. Very good, Carol. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. And yes, Rick has posted almost 1,000 drawings of himself by artists on Sketchy on his Instagram page, which is very cool. Okay. Oscoto, squiggles make it easy to flow. I agree with you. Meryl, I'm glad you like the squiggles. They really work for me too, I have to say. I'm kind of glad I went in that direction. Adding a little bit of thin to the edges of the beard, as if to say, look, we did it all with a thin pen, but we really didn't, right? And leaving the beard breathing a little bit in some areas because it's not all dark black, right? Not all of it is. Okay, I'm going to do something now, which I do sometimes, but sometimes I forget. I will sign. You guys ready? I'm going to sign. At Wagonized on Instagram. Also, my website is wagonized.com. And I'm going to add for Rick. And guys, I think I actually did it in about 1 hour. So yes, thank you for squiggling away with me. Arlene, I'm glad that I got to squiggle and show you, what I did. I am also going to share with you briefly what my daughter.
It's two sides. So.
Can I have the other one too,
Yeah.
Lapin? Thank you. So my daughter was using these extra small and small. Is there one that you used more than the other?
I use the small mostly.
So you use the small mostly. And my daughter, who's 10 years old, likes drawing a lot of things. My Teddy, my poor Teddy, I made him too fat. So a lot of things happening, a lot of shoes. And on the back, oh yes, people with interesting clothes. And somebody who looks as though he's graduating today, but maybe that's, I don't know, but he's wearing Crocs. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one, Nora.
Thank you.
Nice.
I kind of took inspiration from your shoes that have the little thing on the side.
I do have high heel shoes. I do. Nora, thank you for sharing. Nora was drawing with these. I was drawing with those. And again, if you are one of the 10 people who get chosen tomorrow from Sketchy Art School, from the group Drawing with France, congratulations in advance, because these tools are some of the best out there, aren't they, right? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to post this in Sketchy Art School in Drawing with France, okay? And I'm going to send this to Rick. I'm also going to send Rick the digital version, the one that I will take with my camera. And oh my gosh, so many things just happened. Yes to squiggles. Yes, of course. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate. All right. Yep. And oh my gosh, so many comments have happened while I was finishing up. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's funny. It appears lighter here because of the light, but it's actually a little darker than it seems.
It is.
Yeah. It has a little bit of a shine, and that shine doesn't really show when I hold it up like this towards me. Yes, side by side. Are you ready? So here is Rick last week. Okay, I'm going to put the original
Rick
photo to the
numero
side.
one.
Rick numero un, right? This is Rick from last week with pencil. I'm going to now get this photo out of the way. And this is Rick this week. Very different approaches, right? Very different feels. Funny that I actually went faster with much thinner lines than I did last week when I had these very thick pencils. So frankly, I cannot explain this, but we are almost done. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off in a couple of minutes. Can we say goodbye? Can I say thank you? Next week, I'm going to put these pens away, and next week, I'm going to be using colored pencils by Faber-Castell. And that's going to be an interesting trip because I rarely use colored pencils. So it's going to be a learning experience. I'm much more comfortable in black and white, as you know. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. All these people from all over the world, again, from Tunisia, from Canada, South Africa, France. Gros bisous à tous ceux qui regardent depuis la France. Mais I have to go. I have to say bye. And thank you. Thank you for being here. See you next week. And good luck tomorrow. I hope 10 of you are going to get these Pitt pens that I absolutely love. Nora, come say goodbye.
Okay, I'm just going to climb over this mountain of stuff.
There you go. Okay, say au revoir, say goodbye. Okay, bye everybody. I'm signing off. Mwah, gros bisous, and I'll see you next week. Thanks again. Go to the links underneath to check out fabercastel.com, get 20% off, and also join Drawing with France to get a chance to get all these things as a giveaway. Okay, goodbye everybody. 1 hour and 14 minutes. It's been fun. And again, we'll see you very soon. Okay, bye everyone. let's end here.